This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
This is your first look at sports. I'm Jonathan Benson. The New Providence Softball Association opening up its 2013 season on Saturday night at the Blue Hill Sporting Complex. In the men's feature game, the AG Construction Buccaneers got off to a winning start, taking care of the Arnett Sporting Lounge Hitmen 10-3. In the ladies opener, the defending champion Bomber G Operators, they got off to a slow start against the second year Electro Telecom Lady Hitters. The Hitters, they jumped out to an early 8-0 lead, and from there they never looked back. The Hitters picking up a win by a score of 18-8. Tila Johnson, she got the win on the mound. She also led the Hitters offense, going 3 for 4 with 5 runs batted in and 3 runs scored. Melinda Bastian was 1 for 4 with 3 runs batted in, while Takara Colley and Randall Cooper, they were both 1 for 3. For the Operators, Diva Burrows suffered the loss at the plate. Michelle Thompson was 1 for 3 with 3 runs batted in and a run scored. Tyrese Curry, she was 1 for 1 with an RBI and a run scored. Well, the Champion Amateur Boxing Club hosting its 18th annual Wellington Sunny Boy Ramming Silver Gloves Tournament on Saturday. That was at the Wolf Road Square. Lennox Boys, he won on points over Malik Lundgren, 25-24. Donovan Taylor won both of his bouts over Emmanuel Ford and Kendrick Short, 38-37 and 27-20. Marvin Burrows, he scored a second-round TKO over Trevor Pinder. Sean Burrows, he was victorious over Ira Kemp Jr., 21-18. Donson Cartwright, he took care of Lawrence McKinney, 18-14. Wellington Sears, he got the best of Carlos Walking, 23-13. Meantime, in the main event, Colin Bullard, he scored a win over Anwar Davis by a final on points, 26-19. Well, former World Championship medalist Nathaniel McKinney says he will officially retire from track and field during the 2013 B3S Nationals set for next month in Grand Bahama. McKinney helped the Bahamas win medals in the 4x4 relay at the 2003 and 2005 World Championships, and he spoke about why now is the best time to hang up his spikes.
Everybody has 1 or 2 obstacles that you go through, but at the end of the day, if it don't fit my lifestyle or can't support my lifestyle, I think it was best for me to move away due to my injuries and the financial status.
Now, McKinney says he has no regrets about walking away from the sport he loves, knowing that the Bahamas has a long list of credible quarter-milers to carry on the legacy.
They're the best in the world. They are confident. They're strong. We are unique in terms of that breed and that running. And I think like Kyle Oliver, Tim Munnins, Tim, and the rest of those guys, and Troy McIntosh, including myself, we just open up the doors for everybody else, and then they're taking the baton and they're just going beyond what we have done.
Our national beach soccer team closing out play yesterday at the 2013 CONCACAF World Cup qualifier. They hit the sand at Malcolm Park for a matchup with Guatemala to determine 5th and 6th place. Let's pick this one up late in the 3rd period. The Bahamas trailing 5-4. Off the corner, Kyle Williams comes up with a header that finds the back of the net, and we're headed to extra time. Off of a miscue by the Bahamian keeper, Guatemala gets a free kick, and Wilson Gonzalez blasted home to give the visitors the lead back at 6-5. On the next possession for Team Bahamas, Aaron Hanna comes up with some magic of his own. Check out this shot, and this game is headed to penalty kicks. Nestle Jean stepping up for the Bahamas first, and this one is too high. Eduardo Samoya now looking to be the hero for Guatemala, and he finds an opening on the left side of the net. Guatemala wins on penalty kicks, and the Bahamas has to settle for 6th place. Now, of course, only the top 2 teams from this competition qualified for the World Cup in Tahiti. Those spots went to the USA and El Salvador. Well, the Bahamas will make sports history again next week as the Pure Silk Ladies Classic becomes the first professional golf event ever to be staged in the Bahamas. Excitement continues to build for this LPGA event, which will be played on the picturesque Ocean Club course. And earlier today, organizers met with the media to give an update. Our Charles Fisher was there.
Just days to go before the Ocean Club golf course is invaded by some of the top ladies golfers in the world. Matt Truax is the tournament director, and everyone is ready to tee off.
Actually got 49 of the top 50 players in the world committed to date. And one interesting thing to note, and which is part and parcel with doing an event in the Bahamas, is we've got an exemption that's been granted to a local Bahamian player. So Georgette Roll will be participating in the event. She'll be competing for the $1.3 million in prize money, just like the rest of the girls are. And on top of that, there's another local named Raquel Riley, who has been granted an exemption into the Tuesday qualifier. So she, along with about 10 other girls, are going to have the opportunity to play for a spot in the actual tournament.
Tournament scheduled for 3 days, but there will be a week's full of activities.
Next week, starting on the 22nd, the gates are open to the public. Entrance and parking will be complimentary. So we're inviting everybody to come out and get a first-hand look at these world-class players. We're going to have parking here on PI, and then we'll have shuttles running continuously throughout the day to and from the golf course.
General Manager from the Sports Tourism Office, Virginia Kelly, liking the exposure the Bahamas will be getting.
The top 140-plus golfers have already signed on to be a part of the event, and the impact is they'll be coming with their caddies, with their managers, and all of those persons. So we have 100-plus persons coming just because of that, directly linked to the tournament. Then, of course, they're coming to the Bahamas. It's family and friends who will come along with them as well. So you can imagine this many persons being infused into our local economy. You know what it does in terms of their shopping, food items, jewelry, and other stuff in and around town.
Once again, $1.3 million in prize money up for grabs. Good luck to our two Bahamian players, Raquel Riley and Georgette Roll. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
All right, thanks a lot, Charles. Well, the new ITF Development Officer for Central America and the Caribbean, John Goda, he left town yesterday after holding a series of meetings with executives from the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association. And according to the ITF officer, tennis here in the Bahamas is on the move.
Bahamas at this moment is one of the top producers of junior tennis and leading nations in the English Caribbean. And therefore, one of the 22 countries under my belt to do development. We did some work with the kids, nice, beautiful athletes. We went to Freeport yesterday. Again, same thing, great kids, great environment, family feeling.
Now, while the ITF officer was in town, two of our outstanding juniors, Justin Roberts and Kevin Major, were making their presence felt by winning the boys' 18s doubles title at the Plantation Open in South Florida on Saturday, and that was much to the delight of BLTA President Deron Donaldson.
I mean, that's huge. That just confirms why the ITF chose to come to the Bahamas first, because they see we have talent, but we do need some help. We need to make sure administration is straight, make sure the coaches are certified and on par, so we can keep that going, because all those kids are off abroad now, and yes, they're training even harder probably abroad in a structured program, but they started here. So that says something for our development process. It is here, and we just have to keep it going and tweak it and upscale it.
And finally in the segment, the Junior Baseball League of Nassau is set to get its sudden death playoffs underway tomorrow at St. Andrews Field of Dreams. Stephen Bishop Beneby heads up the girls softball division, and based on what's happened so far this season, he expects a competitive game between the shippers and players, which will determine who moves on to play the Oilers in the championship.
We almost doubled the amount of teams we had last year. Last year we had 5 teams, this year we had 9. And we've gone through creating a development program where we have an under 12, just girls under 12, and we play for 3 innings, and then we go ahead and teach them the fundamentals for the other 3 innings. So that has gone very well. The softball is much more competitive than last year, because last year's champion didn't even make the playoff this year. So it goes to show you the level of softball has arrived at JBLN and can only go forward.
What are you expecting going to the playoffs?
Coach Kelly, who won the pennant, she has a good team, she has a good pitcher. But I think the sleeper team is the Shippers team.
And that will do it for sports. But don't go anywhere, there's more to come after the break.
This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.